Glitch Production just premiered their pilot episode of Knights of Guinevere, and safe to say it's an instant classic. But before we get into the review, make sure to drop a like, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Taken, and welcome to a little review, the channel where I make reviews, video essays, and sometimes response videos to all things pertaining media. If that sounds like your thing, don't forget to subscribe. As we're all aware right now, Glitch Production has heavily hyping up the new series Knights of Guinevere. Besides being a new indie series, why is this series getting so much attention? It's simply due to the fact that Knights of Guinevere is actually Glitch's first 2D animated series, with all their other series such as The Amazing Digital Circus, Murder Drones, and even Gaslight District, all of them being in 3D. It's also being spearheaded by Dana Terrace, a veteran within the animation industry working on shows like Gravity Falls and curating the Our House, two shows that I very much enjoy. Dana Terrace's Our House was abruptly cancelled, never getting a chance to reach its full potential. So when word got around that she's actually teaming up with Glitch, creating a new series, best believe that shit was getting hyped up to the max. Fans saw this as another chance to experience her work once again, but this time at its absolute best. As a big fan of Gravity Falls and Our House, alongside my latest fixation being The Amazing Digital Circus, you better believe I was locked in when I heard the news. Especially since The Amazing Digital Circus is wrapping up its story with around 3 to 4 episodes remaining. It feels like the perfect time to find a new indie series to fill that gap in my heart. Knights of Guinevere is described to be a psychological thriller that takes place on a planet-wide theme park. At its core, the story follows a broken princess android named Guinevere. As of writing, recording, and editing this video, I just witnessed the premiere of the pilot right here on YouTube, and it was perfect. I'll leave a link down below so there's no excuses for missing out on it. You've officially been warned. Spoilers ahead. Now let's dive in. Going into the pilot, I had no idea what the series was going to be. I intentionally avoided all teaser footage and other YouTube videos talking about the upcoming series. After watching the pilot for myself, I was infatuated with the world it presents. What I always liked about Dana's earlier works, such as the Our House, is how deeply unique the show's world building was. Like how the glowing isle was just a corpse. I want to learn more about the history of magic, the connection between the human world and the demon realm, and I really want to know more about the titans and the collectors. That was my main draw to the show, and I was heartbroken when those questions basically went unanswered. Knights of Guinevere makes the Our House world building look like child's play, and I say that with the utmost respect. Planet-sized theme park? How do we even get here? The pilot raised so many new questions for me, like whether future human society has completely transformed into this glorified entertainment industry serving only the rich elites. From what we've seen, Andrew and Frankie, the two main protagonists, live in a society that doesn't use theme park as an aesthetic, but generally revolves around them as a way of life. And then that lore drop about Planet Park finding and terraforming new planets just to make another theme park? Again, how does it get to this point? They're finding new planets, ones that might even contain life of their own, and then stripping and mining their natural resources for commercial use. Another thing I want to point out is the pilot's commentary on over-commercialization and corporate greed, which seems to be baked into every framework of the series. We see how just hyper-commercialized Guinevere is as a product. There's posters, movies, toys, even a forum called Park Planet News. One article even mentions a live-action adaptation, accompanied with the caption "No one asked for it, so we're making it." If that's not a clear jab at the current wave of quote-unquote unnecessary live-action remake studios keep pushing out, I don't know what is. Side note, if you want to see my full thoughts on that trend, check out my video on it. And the comment section just takes things a bit more further. Posts like "lol, traditional Guinevere fairs are triggered in 3, 2, 1, and another joke of someone doing drugs. That's that manic shit you see on Twitter. And of course, mixed with jokes are plenty of criticism about the forced political message and the company's lack of creativity. Again, if that's not commentary on the real world audience reaction to the entertainment industry, I don't know what is. We also see Andrea, a park engineer, being discriminated against by simply working with the company. She's simply blamed for their success and diminished as a corporate crony. This obviously mirrors the real world tendencies of the quote-unquote hate mob directing their angers at individual workers, people with little to no power just because they're associated with a larger corporation. But one of the main things I want to talk about is Guinevere herself. So the question is, what exactly is Guinevere? That's clearly gonna be the one of the biggest mystery the show is clearly setting up. The pilot begins with this prelude that takes place way before the current events within the pilot with Andrea and Frankie, where we meet Olivia, her father, and Guinevere. The narrator tells this tale of a princess in desperate need of saving, that princess obviously being Guinevere herself. What stood out most to me is how human Guinevere actually feels. She experiences emotions, she clearly feels pain. It makes you question how much of an android she really is. From what we can gather, it's safe to say that Olivia seems to be her creator, as we see her repeatedly working on Guinevere's model, never quite satisfied with the results. It almost feels like Olivia has taken more of a protective maternal role, treating Guinevere like a daughter. One One scene that really stuck with me is when Olivia tries to show Princess Guinevere their new kingdom, only for Guinevere to be suddenly yanked by her own intestines, being used as a painful rope to restrain her. As Guinevere panics, she purposely runs off the edge, plummeting towards the ground. All the while, the narrator explains how her desperate prayers for rescue goes unanswered, leaving us to wonder, will this princess ever find her knights? As the pilot continues, we're given a series of quick scenes. When slowed down and analyzed, reveal a much bigger story being set up. In one of the earlier shots, there's a mock-up sketch of Guinevere signed with annotation notes scribbled across, including "This point feels too violent, let's brainstorm," "No wrinkles," "Center pupils plus keep dilated equals more appealing," and a partially obscure note that could read as "Eyes not symmetrical, please fix." All of these notes are signed with the initials O, which I believe refers to Olivia. These may be her plans and designs for Guinevere. In the very next scene, we actually see her beside one of these models. Only this time, she looks much older, possibly being in her late teens or early 20s. Later, we see Guinevere with half her face peeled away, exposing the inner mechanism underneath. What really struck to me is that beneath her skin, her robotic body is being forced into a cheerful smile, while the other half is still intact, looking very dreadful. To me, this symbolizes her being trapped in a constant state of agony, being forced to maintain the facade that everything is fine. I really want to see how psychological this series can really get, with Guinevere being used to clearly be that type of vessel that the series is gonna use. Overall, I have to say that Glitch Production has something special on their hand, and dare I say it, I can really see the series even surpassing the Amazing Digital Circus in popularity. The pacing is excellent, the animation is vivid and engaging. Every time the story gets dark and gritty, like when Olivia pulled Guinevere by her intestines, I really felt it and felt horrible watching it. By the looks of it, it seems like the series is going to tug on a lot of heartstrings. With its commentary on massive corporate commercialization and media control, and how these systems create a rift among lower oppressed classes, this series has a lot going for it. There are so many things to talk about. It's safe to say, after the Amazing Digital Circus have run its course, we're in good hands. If you made it this far, thanks for joining us. I'm your host Taken, and we do a little reviewing around here. Peace out.